them, eh? Like, I'm not saying, and if you have been giving your kid access to social media and stuff, don't take it off them straight off the bat. Don't just kill it because you're hearing this and you're getting worried now.
Oh,
because, that'll turn into you have different issues. You got to wean them off it. Start setting some boundaries, like no phones in the rooms, no phones after this time, or, wean them off it, but don't just try and kill it right off the bat because you open yourself up to more problems.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
I am ready.
I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I am born ready. Okay. 3, 2, 1. What's good, family? Thank you so much for tuning in to our very first episode of How We Dad, the podcast. I'm joined on the couch here today with yours truly, Uncle Ben from 3rd Street. Shot for answering the call, cuz.
No, cuz. Very, very privileged to be guest number 1 on your podcast, cuz.
Yeah. So happy. Man, it's taken a while, eh?
Yeah, long time in the making, but I think that's life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, not everything's got to fall into place, but
Hard out.
that it's finally,
we're here.
Yeah, that's the one, cuz.
We were just waiting for the manufacturers to make the couch. That's why it took so long.
It's not the one from the other thing.
Wasn't the fact that I had COVID and he had COVID and everything else in between. But anyway, family, we're here. We're finally having this conversation. I thank you for your patience and us getting this out there. I know it's highly anticipated that everybody wants to know what it's like a life for a dad. So here we are. First things first, cuz, mental health chicken. How are we?
Yeah, good. Ups and downs, as always.
Yep.
Mother's Day today. So,
Yeah.
bit of a first one without mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, cuz, pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. I was wary of that, cuz. I was wary that it was the first Mother's Day without mum.
Yeah.
But, Thanks for
That's all
coming in.
good. Like, we done a Mother's Day party yesterday.
Okay.
And it was probably good that I sat up.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how thing I would have been.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mean, cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like that's something that we need to really ask, as have us men check in with each other and see how we're actually doing. Because I feel like a lot of times we're always saying, oh, cuz, how are you? Nah, I'm all good, G. Sweet. What are we up to today?
That's the one too, is like, guys don't want to open up either.
Yeah.
Like, if they are, like, I've had it as well at times where I have been feeling down, but I don't want to burden other people with my problems.
Yeah. Yeah, because you do get those too, eh?
Yeah.
Like people who tend to just draw anybody's energy, so you don't want to feed them bad energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that, cuz that came about because I wanted to introduce this into this potty because you decide.
Oh, yep.
I was watching one of their potties one day, and one of the boys, I forgot the name.
Is it Aaron?
I think it's Aaron.
Yeah. I've
And
seen that one.
He had a moment where he was talking about, when you catch up with the boys, you only want to do like fun stuff, and you don't want to burden anybody with your problems.
Yeah.
And I felt that, man. I felt that 100% because I feel like when I'm with my boys, I have to be, let loose because it's my time out away from my family and that.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Want to do all that sort of stuff. But then when he said only catch up with the boys for the good times and you don't want to burden them with your problems when you are together because you're probably going through their own shit at the same time.
True.
That really hit home because I was like, bro, that's probably why I don't have a lot of friends. Because a lot of times I'm not feeling the bestest and I don't feel like being around people and I don't feel like being a dick today because, I'm probably going through some shit myself.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I don't have a lot of friends. But in saying that, recently I caught up with my boys from high school.
Oh, yep.
Pofa to come back from Aussie and Lee was down this way. So we had catch up and bro, like my dad was there and he goes, man, we never had like drink ups like this before because we were like old men, like just sitting on the couch, just chatting about real shit. And in that came the conversation from, growing up in high school. When we knew each other in high school, we didn't really understand what everyone was going through at that time. We didn't understand why they were acting the way that they were.
Oh,
so we thought their life was sweet. So, that's why I wanted to add this, how are you, mental health check-in part on the podcast. So be aware, Tanema, if you're coming onto my podcast, I'm going to be asking you how you are. Only because we hear, and everyone always talks about it's not weak to speak, but no one ever gives you the opportunity or the platform to be able to do so.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
So
Yeah. Oh, like I have started opening up a bit more.
yeah,
Towards the boys.
yeah,
Like having bad days.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think last time we had a beer over here, it was good. Like, it was good, like fun and laughs. But like at the end of it, we just had like a really good, like heart to heart conversation with the boys. It was mean.
hard.
So yeah.
That's one of the things I always took. It was, it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay not okay.
Oh, yeah, fuck's there. Yeah. That's strong.
Hard. Get a bit more into the dad stuff.
Yep. Okay.
So, dad stats, cuz. So,
That's.
how long you been dead? How many kids you got? What are the age groups?
Okay, so I am a father of two beautiful girls, 15 and 13. Teenage years, not looking forward to the teenage years, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I was thinking about it this morning, like, so I was an uncle when I was 10,
Yeah.
And sort of got really involved in their lives when I was like 16, 17, got a job, used to always spoil my nephews and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was all nephews at the time. And yeah, I was like, fuck, I want to be a dad one day, But I was thinking that early, like I was way too young.
Yeah.
And like, didn't know what I'd be getting myself into. But yeah.
I feel like you're not the only one though, because like I'm the second oldest of 8.
Oh, okay.
So I pretty much helped to parent my younger siblings too. So I think I thought from there, man, I want to be a dad.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be a dad.
Yeah.
But what I didn't take into consideration then was you can give those ones back to the parents.
Yeah.
You give those ones back to the parents. And when you become a parent, they're with you for life. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, no. Love you. I love my kids.
Yeah. So teenage girls. Yeah.
And I'm at the start of my teenage, like 13 and 15, they're still young. I'm lucky that they're good kids.
Yep.
Like I wasn't a great kid when I was growing up, and I had friends that were really not good kids, So in that respect, I'm lucky. Like they don't, like kids, the cool kids growing up my age, like they used to drink.
Yeah.
They used to smoke on the field, all those kids. And I'm lucky that the girls don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Teenage, I'm not looking forward to the 18 years, when they start going out and getting just going out, just because they're girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, like being a dad of girls, like when I'm scared when my kids go to the center.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not looking forward to the 18s to 25s.
I feel like I'll be the same, mate. Like I've got my first girl.
Yep.
She's literally like already starting to chat back. 3 months.
Yep.
But so I too am kind of a bit worried about, when she starts getting interested in the other gender. But I feel like if I feed her the right information and show her the right, surroundings.
Yeah.
Because that has a lot to do with your upbringing, what influences you. Which is a good segue into, because you have teenage girls.
Yep.
Social media, cuz. What's your views on your girls in social media?
So, only my oldest is on social media.
Yeah.
So she's just on TikTok and on Instagram and Snapchat.
Yeah.
But it's just her mates. It's just a way for her, stay in contact with her mates.
Yeah.
So, she hasn't really. I think Facebook's the worst one.
Yeah.
What I was saying, Facebook's the one where if you're getting bullied on cyberbullying, it's through Facebook and it follows you home.
It's the group chats, cuz.
Yeah.
Anything that allows a group of people to communicate privately is an open door for mental health problems and bullying. So I went to this, I can't remember if I told you, I went to this seminar that talked about cyberbullying.
Oh, okay.
And it was saying that cyberbullying and online predators.
Yeah.
Snapchat's the worst. 100%
true.
Snapchat is the worst social media platform.
Is that just randos on Snapchat?
Yeah, because Snapchat shares your location. So if you're frequently going to the same places, you can go to bus stop, school, shop, home, and you do this regularly, then online predators can monitor your movements and catch up with you at one of those places.
Oh.
And even if you turn your location off, because I know a lot of you out there are going to say, just turn your location off, you can buy side apps to attach to the Snapchat app that will unlock it. That's what they were talking about. This guy's like traveled the world. Oh man, I need to get his name and attach it to this potty, but he's going around the schools and intermediates and all of that at the moment. This is where I've seen it. And yeah, it's quite scary. It's quite scary, the sort of stuff that they go through. So on the back of that, I stopped my kids from using their phone in the room. Because in their room, on their phone, you know, they're not on any group chats or anything at the moment. But the only thing they got is Messenger Kids, but my missus is attached to that.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah, but just no charging the phone in the room, no using the phone in the room. If you want to charge it, charge on the kitchen bench. And, you know, no phones in the room. Because I don't want to open them up to a potential of them being bullied or whatever online.
Oh, okay.
They also, you know, for an example, so you imagine you're a 11-year-old kid. I don't know if maybe. You're an 11-year-old kid, you're at intermediate. There's a long line for the toilets. Can't hold it in. You wet yourself. And everybody on the playground sees it, or on the forecourt or wherever you are sees it, and they start cracking up laughing. Shame. Piddle pee or whatever they want to call you.
But that sounds like experience.
maybe because I can neither confirm nor deny such accusations. You know, so all the kids are laughing at you, and they're laughing at you the next day, they're laughing at you the next day, and then it breaks off for the weekend.
Yeah.
And then it comes in on Monday, and there's like a little dabble of kids that are still making fun of you, but after that week's finished, it'll be gone, be forgotten.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you go out on the forecourt and you wear your pants or whatever, everyone's laughing at you, and a couple of kids pull out their phones and they video it. And then it goes to social media, then it goes fucking viral. And then everyone's laughing at you this month, next year. Because next year it's going to come up
People
again.
you don't know.
Yeah. It's going to be memories. So it's going to pop back up again. And so, that's why, that is the exact reason why some of the old school parenting styles that we had then, or we were parented by, it doesn't work now. Because it's changed. Social media and technology changed a lot. And until people start to realize that, that's when we're going to be still far behind the ball.
Yeah.
The other one is, it was just in my head a second ago. It had to do with parenting and around technology. It's gone. Tune in next week, it might come back.
Think with it like bullying nowadays, though, because back in school days, you'll get bullied.
Yeah.
But when you go home, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. With social media nowadays, the bullying follows you home.
Yeah.
You're like constantly after you in your own time.
Yeah.
And that's what leads to a lot of kids just feeling down.
Oh, bro, that was the other one. So that's what was in my head before. That whole saying in your head where, oh, not my kid. Oh, my kid doesn't do that. When it comes to posting photos online and stuff. And all the parents who vividly say, nah, not my kid, it could potentially be your kid, especially if your kid has access to social media and has got their phone privately and stuff like that. Because, just a scenario, this come up on that seminar. Imagine that your kid is influencers that they're into and stuff, people like Mr. Beast, people on YouTube and all of that they admire watching their programs or whatever. Imagine being your kid and receiving a message saying, hey, Mr. Beast here, I want to give you a free t-shirt, just need your size. Can you send me a photo? And then sends a photo. And then it starts to get ridiculous in what they're asking for. So they say, oh, no, we need your pants, but we need to, just in your underwear. And then they take the photo. And then they're like, oh, no, need it without your underwear. And at this point, your kid's like, I'm too smart for this guy. No, you're not getting one. Okay. If you don't send me that photo, I'll send the photo of you in your underwear out too on my thing, and then everyone can see it. And blah, blah, blah. So, and then immediately they feel caved in.
Yeah.
And the message that they're sending to parents nowadays, and to teach their kids, is that predators can only attack you in the dark, in the shadows. The only way to get out of it is to turn the light on, is to expose them, is to say, hey, look, this guy's trying to get me to send them photos, blah, blah, blah. And I think that, like, say your girls, because of their ages, they're a bit older, they would click onto that sort of stuff and they'd be like, good luck, mate. But I feel like the younger kids, because younger kids are starting to get into social media sooner and sooner.
Yeah.
We have 5-year-olds who've got cell phones nowadays who've got access to the internet because they like Cocomelon or they like YouTube or that sort of stuff. So I'm guilty of it too. I give my 3-year-old my phone sometimes just to shut him up so that he can watch YouTube, but less and less now, or I'm monitoring him more now because of that seminar that I went to. Cause I never know what's going to pop up. There was a phase there where that scary thing would pop up on kids' programs.
Oh, what was it called?
Yeah, and it's to scare the shit out of kids.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So that's what started me thinking, no, man, I need to monitor what this boy's watching. And then it wasn't until I watched that seminar and I was like, holy wreck. Like, you never know who's on what, where they're watching from. So, yeah. Te Araki's got a cell phone. That's only because of his age. He's an intermediate and he needs to know who's picking him up after school or where to meet us from.
Fuck. Man, that we were kids the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the way, sorry, just off topic, but sort of on topic. Yeah, like it's like my girl needs a cell phone nowadays because plus like she's so like both of them have like such busy after school schedules, so we have to like trying to juggle how to pick them up and stuff.
Yeah.
But when we were kids, you got told before school.
Yeah.
And you just make sure that's what it is. And if not, you're walking home.
That's true. Yeah, because your day was planned out for you the day before.
Yeah.
Boy, you better make sure you get on that bus. Your bus leaves at blah, 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 blah. Yeah. On that, cuz I remember one time, I swear my mum told us that she was picking us up from school to go shopping. And so we were waiting. Oh, no, we jumped on the bus. And then I was like, no, remember, we're going shopping with mum. So we jumped off. My brother will remember this. So we jumped off the bus, walked back to school. We waited, bro. And then when you're a kid, you don't know what the time is.
Yeah.
You don't know how fast the time is flying. So we were there for like 2 hours. 2 hours just waiting. Oh, no, mum will be here soon. And then, so we started walking home, got to a skate park. And these teenagers were there smoking on their cigarettes. And then I said, oh, can I have some? And they're like, no, you're going to bum puff it. And I said, I'm going to puff it with my mouth. Puff it with my bum, what a weirdo. And then, so went to go puff it, ended up choking my, I think it was like 8 at the time.
Oh.
Just choking hard out. And my brother comes over and I'll show you how it's done. Bloody professional. Now we know he's been stealing Anne's butts. And then my papa ended up driving down and he seen us. He's hey, get out of the car. Turns out my mum said she's taking us shopping once we get home.
Oh.
Yeah. My bloody ears don't work.
Those mouldy ears, cause
those mouldy ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry.
Back on topic. Sorry.
Back on topic. So that's social media. So social media out there is really rich coming from somebody who's doing podcasts here, but for kids.
Yeah.
For kids in their age groups, you just got to monitor them. Like I'm not saying, and if you have been giving your kid access to social media and stuff, don't take it off them straight off the bat. Don't just kill it because you're hearing this and you're getting worried now. Oh. Because, that'll turn into you have different issues. You got to wean them off it. Start setting some boundaries like no phones in the rooms, no phones after this time, or, wean them off it, but don't just try and kill it right off the bat because you open yourself up to more problems.
Do you have open access to your kids' phones?
Yep.
You made sure?
Yeah.
I'm the same. So, I'll make sure I know both of their passwords.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't gone into their phones.
Yeah.
So I do respect their privacy. But I know is that hopefully the thought of dad might go through my phone.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do dumb stuff. I hope that sticks in my kids' heads.
So, I'm like a Hitler when it comes to my boy and his phone.
Dictator.
So he can't download anything through Play Store unless it gets approval. So as soon as he tries to download something, it sends me an email saying, your son wants to download this, and I just reject it.
No, that's the same with Faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, Faith has that on her phone. Yeah. Haley's a bit more responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that has to do with being able to talk to people online, I'll just reject it.
Oh, yeah.
If he wants to download an offline game, he can go hard. But anything that he can... Because what happened... I've told you the story before, but I'm going to share it with the new people from How We Dad. But what happened one time was Te Araki was playing Fortnite.
Yep.
He was playing Fortnite on the Nintendo. And they having a conversation. They were talking away, and then just before his turn finished, somebody had mentioned the word porn, and Te Ariki thought, oh, and then his turn was on the game was finished. He was told to get off the game, so he gets off the game and he thinks, "What's that? Is that like an update? Was that like a new skin or something?" So he Googled it. It was definitely skin.
Sorry, guys, I was thinking porn. Right? Yep, go.
Yeah. It was definitely skin, but not the skin he was intending to see.
Yeah.
And the only way we figured out that he had been exposed to that is because Joanna was baking. She was doing some baking, and she accidentally clicked off the recipe, so she went through the history to pull it back up.
Oh, true.
And 5 sites, bro. He just needed to make sure he spelt it right, so he went to the next site, So yeah, and because my phone was broken at the time, and that was her old man's phone, she was like, "AJ, on my phone, on my dad's phone." And I was like, "Hey." No, that wasn't me. And then we checked out the time and we realized that we were all out. The only one that was home was Te Ariki. So I pulled him into the room and I said, "Hey, babe, did you see anything weird on Koko's phone?" "Oh, Dad, it was real weird." Oh, my poor boy. But yeah, so that's how easy it is. It's just curiosity. Just somebody mentioning a word, and then he just wanted to know what it was, so he Googled it. So now all of our phones have got safe search and all that stuff on it now.
No. Probably a good call.
Yeah. Moving along, guys. Expectations versus reality of becoming a dad.
Oh, becoming a dad.
Becoming a dad.
Oh. Like, yeah, so like when I said before, like when I was 16, 17, bro, I can't wait to become a dad.
Yeah.
It was like, well, I was so happy. Like, it's like when Haley was born.
Yeah.
No, so happy. But yeah, like the realization.
Yeah.
That it's like every day. It's cool, but it's scary.
Yeah.
And I don't think you know how much sort of your own time and just your own, for lack of a word, like your mind is just so engulfed in this, making sure this thing, that was born is just stay safe and so expectation was, I knew it wasn't gonna be easy. Like, so I've got my family's like, I got like 28 nieces and nephews, so I've been around other people like bringing up kids and helped like bring up some of my nephews as well. But like having to do it every day, it's a bit of a shock. But like wouldn't have it any other way, because like cliche thing, like it was cool meeting like the reason I'm here. And that's was like my kids are the reason I'm here on this earth today. Is to guide them through their lives, and hopefully they can.
Because so before I was a dad, right? I only, even though I helped to parent my younger siblings, I loved that. Like I loved that they were happy. They had clean bums, they had bottles, and that. I was like, "That's easy. This is easy." And like taking my brothers down in the park and kicking the ball around with them. Like I loved those moments. And so I was like, "Bro, I can't wait to be a dad," and like share these experiences with my own kids, and bring them up the way that I want them to be brought up, and all this, like mold them into whatever I wanted. I was like the clay maker. But man, but if you just listen to everything that I just said, right, that was all me.
Oh, yep.
So after my kids were born, I was very much still me. And I, like, kids teach you patience, man. They teach you how to be patient. They teach you how to care for somebody else more than yourself.
True.
And like, bro, getting over that mountain. So me and my missus, we lived apart for so long, and I was always trying to chase work to, start us off in a different town, just out of Waino. Just tried to go Otaki, tried to go fucking Pram, Porirua, everywhere. And again, it took me ages to realize that was just me. That was me.
Yeah.
Me wanting this, wanting that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I had to, because I thought she was really like her. That's why I was probably trying to, me. But and then I started to understand that, man, maybe I need to prioritize my kids you know, and think about what's right for the kids, which I was going to talk about in another potty, but just touching on that part was my realist expectation versus reality moment, was understanding that it was very much about the kids, and I didn't pick that up early on.
Like, so yeah, like when you were saying me,
Yeah.
and like having to work to support your kids.
Yeah.
So I used to work a lot of hours. I'd work 7 days a week,
Yeah.
thinking that I was doing really well, and so I'm the man, you know.
Yeah.
But then I'd come out, I'll be fucked, you know.
Yeah.
I'll be wasted. My time with my kids wasn't there.
Yeah.
I was working nights, so
Yeah.
I'd hardly ever get to see them. And I thought I was doing a good job, and fuck, I'm such a great dad.
Yeah.
Because you know I'm working so much.
Yeah.
I'm providing.
Yeah.
But I missed a lot of stuff as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's one of the regrets I have in life is just being too work and money focused.
Yeah.
And not focusing on my kids more.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't until I've grown up a bit and just sort of stood back and looked at life a lot more now and realized what's important and what's not important.
Yeah.
And so I try to, every time my kids have something on, I don't miss it.
Yeah.
You know, we were back in the day, oh no, I got to work.
Yeah.
No, I got to work. And yeah, I'll flip that now. I wish I'd done that earlier.
Yeah.
And caught a lot of the kids stuff when they were growing up, but you know, I can't go back now. So I'll try and make up for as much as I can now. With all the tertiary stuff as well, though, like that takes up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
But I still make sure that I'll go till this point. Enough of that, bro. It's still what the kids want to do.
Man.
Being separated. So once me and Quinn are separated, I think our views on how we raise our kids changed as well.
Yeah.
So it was like more my time, your time now, you know, and just like the time we spend now, like it's a lot different. I think we work really well.
Yeah.
As co-parents, I've seen a lot of co-parents that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, and all they do is fight. But we're at a point now with us. I think I'm just rambling, but we co-parent really well.
Yeah.
And our kids don't. It's not a broken home.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they're in a broken home.
Yeah.
Like they have two homes. This is their normal life.
Yeah.
And I just hope we've done a good enough job where it doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
And I think we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too, cuz I don't know that much of your side, cuz like knowing you as a person, but from what I've seen and the way I see you guys talking with each other and stuff, yeah, bro, I reckon you should hit the nail on the head. Like it still feels very much a family.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't feel any sort of broken familyness whenever you guys are in the same rooms or sharing the same space. But that's where I was alluding to anyway, because about the prioritizing my kids, is that I was the same, 100%, man. I was the same. I would like work 65 hours, you know, just whenever there was a shift, pick it up. Just money hungry. Nothing to show for that money though. Nothing to show for that money, but that's what I was doing. And I was like, bro, like, you know, when people would question why aren't you with your kids? You know, why are you out on the piss again? And I'm like, man, I gave them money.
Oh, true.
You know, that was me, but but I had that revelation of nah, fuck that. But I was depressed. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was depressed at the time. I didn't know that my life sucked, and I didn't know that. You know, I thought my answers were at the bottom of every bottle of every 24 pack. I was in a really bad space, but there's times when I was going to talk about this in other podcasts, but there was times where I tried to, you know, cuck it because I was just so miserable with my life. But then the only thing I switched was just, okay, from now on, any decision I make, if it doesn't benefit my family, I'm not doing it. And that's why I moved back here, moved back to Wainui to be around my family. Because, and then I just landed the TP job, even though I swore to like everyone I'd never return.
I was there.
I'm never going back to TP, but it was the stability of TP. You know, we were at COVID times then, because this was 2020.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, we were in the midst of COVID, so I needed a job security, and I knew that Taylor Preston, Money Hungry People, when they won't close. No, essential workers.
Essential workers.
So I knew that they were going to continue through the lockdown. So, but to tell you the truth, the first lockdown, 4-week lockdown, when the whole country was shut out, but I took that as my layoff. I'd only been there for like a couple of months, but I still wasn't living with my family at the time. I was living at my nan's in Pororo.
Oh, yeah.
So I went there to be locked down with my family for 4 weeks, and that was my pivot point. That's where
true.
being surrounded by my family every day, all day, for 4 straight weeks, without running away to the pub or party or whatever. You know, and that was my pivot point. That's when I turned it all around. And, you know, my baby Coda, who's 3 now, he was only, you know, he was pretty much just born.
Baby, yeah.
Yeah, and just, you know, I didn't have that moment with the other 2 boys because I was always moving, trying to find work and stuff. So, yeah, just watching him grow from a little bloody tadpole, a very fast tadpole, to, you know, full-grown frog. Like, that's my boy, you know? So...
I got like, so I'm like the complete opposite of you.
Yeah.
So I was there like when my kids were born.
Yeah.
You know, and like I was like fucking everyday part of their lives until they were, I think, like 5 and 7, I think.
Yeah.
When like when me and their mum separated and they moved out. It's like one of the hardest days of my life.
Yeah.
You know, like the first time coming home and they weren't here.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
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 Like when you said you didn't like live with, I couldn't picture that in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, being with someone but not living there. That's just like the differences of, you know.
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah, so yeah, when you talked about it, it's like, fuck, yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, well, yeah, when they finally moved out, fuck, it was so tough.
Yeah, but I didn't have any other experience. So that's why, you know, for me, it was probably easier for me to do that. And people are like, man, why? How can you not be by your kids all the time? Blah, blah. So I never was. That's why. That's why it was just like normal to me. But when I had that 4 weeks with them, like all day, every day, I was like, fuck, man. That's what I'm missing out on. And, yeah, without going too far into detail, the reason why I was away in Otaki was because I was trying to help my mum.
Yeah.
I was trying to help my mum with my little siblings that were just not listening, but then I found that it was just a whole cycle of shit not working out. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's where I spent like 3 years, 4 years, something like that I could have been spending building my own family. But in a way, I'm glad that it happened that way because you know the experiences and the friends and stuff that I met in Otaki made it all worth it. And if I was living with my partner at the time, on our record, bro, we'd probably been up to kid number 7 or 8. So yeah. No. We'll go to advice, bro. Like speaking about everything that we've just talked about.
Yeah.
And our experiences of how we're dating, what advice do you have for new dads out there that...
Fuck, advice for a new dad. Enjoy it. Like, enjoy the baby months.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy watching all the firsts.
Yeah.
You know, being there for the first, just being around because you don't get that time back.
Mm.
And I think that's probably my biggest bit of advice.
Yeah.
It does very much learn as you go.
Yeah.
You know, it is a learn as you go type of job, I guess, if you want to call it a job. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's strap yourself in. It's,
I reckon,
a very up and down road.
Yeah. With you saying about the learn as you go, grab all those baby books and all those internet sites that tell you what's supposed to happen, throw them all in the rubbish. Right? Throw them all out because kids are different.
Yeah.
Every single kid is different. They're going to teeth differently. They're going to, you know, eat solids at different times. They're going to start talking differently. They're going to start walking differently. Every kid is different. So just grab all those books that tell you when your baby's supposed to do this and throw them in the rubbish, bro. Because those are for those kids, not for yours.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, I think that was a good podcast. Thank you for coming on and
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, sharing our first How We Dad potty. Just before we go, I want to open up a Facebook page, Facebook Instagram page, where we will have all you guys can jump in there and just anything that you want to discuss further about what we talk about on the potty, or maybe some suggestions that you have for us to talk about in future potties, that will be your safe space to be able to just conversate as it'll be a private group. So just request to join. That way we can keep it safe and you can speak freely. You could even post anonymously if you have questions or if you have you're asking for advice on stuff. We can only speak on our experiences, so there is no wrong or right for anybody who posts up on there, or for anything that we say. You can feel free to agree or disagree, but it doesn't make us more or less right or wrong. It's just a safe space to openly speak. So I'll get that up and running this week. I'll open that up this week. But until then, make sure you love your wife, love your kids, love your family. And if you're asking why, it's because that's how we did. You love it, cuz? Boom.
Clean, cuz.